Okay, today what we're going to be doing is replacing the suspension links on the front of a 2001 Audi A6. These are the brand new links that are going to be put into the car, and we've already kind of disassembled most of the suspension links right now. So I'll show you the parts here. What you have to do is you've got to take apart your shock tower. That's got to come out, and there's 3 bolts that are on the top side of the vehicle. Here's the passenger side. There's one here, one here, one here, and that will then drop the shock tower out of the vehicle. And then on the back side here is where you're going to be taking out the bolt for holding the bottom of the shock tower, and everything else will fall out after that. Once that you get those parts out, you can then start taking the old links off, which we've already done here, and install the new links. We just kind of put them in just to put them in the right position and get them ready. The hardest thing to do on the A6, and many of you East Coast people are going to have a problem with this, is the pinch bolt that goes up on the top here for the 2 parts of the suspension links. Those can become pretty corroded over time, and it's going to be hard to press out. So use a lot of lubricant in there. WD-40 works great, and then you're going to have to push it out with a punch once you get the nut off. If it's really corroded, the nut may break, but the suspension kit comes with a new pinch bolt that'll go through there. The rest of it is all pretty straightforward. You're going to pull apart all the links and suspension parts. We don't have anything on here right now. As I said, we took off a lot of the parts already before we put them back. We'll show you what it looks like all back together again and explain what you've got to do to remove it. And then, of course, you've got to pull out the bolts on the back side of the suspension links. The one that was here is now removed, and we'll get on with it. Here I've got my helper taking care of this side. The hardest part for us right now to get off is the rear suspension, lower suspension link. Getting that off has proven to be somewhat troublesome. It's an 18 millimeter, and it screws in from the top side. You can see here, finally got it off, and now we're going to press it out. That's the last of the links that go on the driver's side, and there you can see again is the pinch bolt area, and that's where the shock tower gets installed again. Once that's all done, then we're ready to rock and roll and put this car back on the road again. So once again, it's a 2001 Audi A6, and we'll see you in a few minutes once we start putting in the rest of the suspension parts. All right, so we got the upper links replaced, the lower links replaced. And you're going to have a big problem, not a big problem, but a problem getting this bolt off. There's not enough clearance on the other side. This is a pretty long bolt. And so you've got to get that one to kind of wiggle once you get it off, to wiggle out of the way, and then you're going to unwind it as much as you can to get that bolt out. That's probably the hardest bit. The other thing to remember is when you're installing the new lower link here, you want to put the tie rod end, or well, this end, into the holder first before you do this end. The reason is that you wouldn't be able to wiggle this bushing into place to really get it in position. So you want to make sure that that is done properly. And after that, you're all good. It's golden. There you go. That's it.